morning. Right, and if you'd like to find yourself a comfortable seated position. Few nice deep breaths. Growing tall and expanding your chest as you breathe in. Nice long spine. And then reaching up, really stretching your shoulders. And release down. And one couple more of those, reaching up. And release. And reaching up. And release. And then taking your shoulders up to your ears and back and down. A few more of those. And changing direction. And then taking your right arm across your body and grabbing it with your left and just stretching that shoulder in front of you. And release on the other side. And then taking your right arm up, drop your hand down your back and just grab your elbow. Keep sitting tall. And swapping sides. And release. And then just walking your right hand behind you, left hand on your thigh. Breathe in to grow. And as you exhale, just gently turn, peeling back your right shoulder. One more time, breathing in. And turn. And back to centre. And around to the left this time, breathing in to grow. Exhale. Gentle turn. And again. And release. And then just walking your fingertips forward. Just come into a little forward fold over your legs. Keep your back straight and keep looking up. As soon as your back starts to bend, don't go any further forward. And coming back up, taking your right hand to the right hand side and your left arm up and over. The side stretch, looking up underneath your arm, your left arm. Keep your chest open. Make sure that your right shoulder's dropped away from your ear. And breathing in to come back up. And exhale down to the left. Breathing in to come up to the right. Breathing in to come up to the left one more time. And back to centre. And release. And then coming onto your hands and knees. Into tabletop, spreading your fingers and thumbs. Wrists directly underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Really pushing up through those hands. Eye of your elbow pointing forward. And then as you exhale, bringing your head down and arching your back up into cat pose. Really pushing up through those arms. Tailbone down. Inhaling, coming to the opposite way into your cow. And exhale. Inhale. To cow. And exhale. Just carry on doing a few more of these in your own time. And then returning to neutral, walking your hands forward, coming down onto your elbows, keeping your hips over your knees and your chin to the floor, and stretching those arms, stretch those shoulders. If that's pinching your shoulders, then adjust as needed. And then walking back up, push back into a child's pose, knees apart, toes together. The forehead on the floor. And then coming up onto your hands and knees, push back into a downward facing dog. Knees bent, heels off the floor, really pushing up through those arms. Walking your knees, your legs a bit. Just moving around however feels good. Maybe going from side to side. And then on your next exhale, walking your feet step by step by step by step to the front of the mat. Outside edges of your feet parallel with the outside edges of your mat. And just use your fingers to spread your toes really far out. Inhaling halfway up and stretching your spine forwards. And exhale, fold. And then as you inhale, rolling up, keeping your knees nice and soft. And as you come up, shoulders back. And into mountain pose. Palms facing forward. Legs engaged. Really stretching that spine up. Inhaling your arms up. And as you exhale, fold at the hips, stretching forward, coming down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhale with soft knees, rolling up, all the way up, stretching up the fingertips, and exhale, back to mountain. Inhaling up, and exhale, stretching forward and down. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhaling, soft knees, all the way up. And exhale to mountain. Inhaling, arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, fold. Soft knees, rolling up. All the way up, stretching your fingertips up to the ceiling, and exhale them down to your sides into mountain. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, and exhale to mountain pose. Taking your right hand behind you and just peeling that right shoulder back. Keep your pelvis square to the front of the mat and just look over your shoulder. A twist. And back to centre. And we'll twist the other way now. And back to center, inhaling, arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. And as you exhale, plant your hands, spread fingertips on the mat, and step back into a plank pose. Just take a few breaths here while you get your alignment sorted. Stacking your joints, spreading your fingers and thumbs onto your toes. Really pushing up through those arms, slight dome in the back. And then as you exhale, knees to the ground, flat at your feet, pushing your bottom back. We're going to go through knees, chest, chin, so elbows on the ground, and then sliding forward between your arms until your elbows come off and your chest and your chin are on the floor. And then sliding your legs back, push up into a little cobra. Take an extra breath here. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes and come into a downward facing dog. Nice soft knees, really pushing up through those arms, letting your chest drop. And on your next exhale, I want you to take your left foot and do one big step to the front of the mat. And then I want you to bring your right foot to meet it, hip width apart, and exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. And then inhaling, coming all the way up, and exhale to mountain. Inhaling up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, take one breath here while you just check your alignment, and then take yourself through another knees, chest, chin. So knees, feet, bum back, elbows to the floor, sliding forwards until your chest and your chin touch the ground, and pushing your legs back and up into a downward facing dog. Into a cobra. And then tucking your toes into a downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. Hopefully you're starting to warm up a bit now. And on your next exhale, take your right foot all the way to the front of the mat, and then bring your left foot to join it, hip width apart, into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, stretching that spine forwards, and fold. Inhaling all the way up, stretching up to the ceiling, and exhale to mountain. Just take a breath here to check your alignment. Spread your toes, outside edges of your feet parallel with the outside edges of the mat. Your joints stacked. Your shoulders back, and letting your shoulder blades travel down your back. Your arms at your side, palms facing forward. Your arms and your legs engaged. Growing tall. And your chin parallel to the ground. Inhaling your arms up, looking up, little back bend, and fold as you exhale. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into a plank, take a breath. And exhale as you go through knees, chest, chin. And sliding your legs back, inhaling into a cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Couple of breaths. Either keeping still or moving around, maybe walking your legs out, maybe taking your heels to one side of the mat and then the other. Or just stay in stillness, letting your chest drop down. And on your next exhale, taking your left foot forward to the front of the mat, bringing the right to meet and into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhaling with soft knees all the way up, and exhale to mountain. Inhaling up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands and step back into plank. Take a breath. Check your alignment. And as you exhale, go through knees, chest, chin. Inhaling to cobra. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Couple of breaths. Push up through those arms, let that chest drop. Head nice and loose. And then coming up onto your toes, bringing your shoulders over your wrists. And then just walking with as straight legs as possible, your legs to the front into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhaling all the way up, really good stretch, and exhale to mountain. Okay, just take a couple of breaths here. Okay, spreading out your toes. Inhaling up. Exhale, really stretching forward, 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 and into a forward fold. Inhaling to halfway rise. And then as you exhale, take your pistol grip, okay, which is your first two fingers, and you put them facing each other between your big toe and your first toe, and hook those fingers and thumb round your toes, and then elbows to the outside, and drop your head. And take a few breaths here. Just using that grip to just give yourself just that little bit more of a forward fold. Don't force anything. And then inhaling halfway up, releasing your pistol grip, and then sliding your palm upwards, fingertips to the heel, toes to the wrist. Okay, so you're standing on your hands. And if you've got your knees bent, that's absolutely fine. You can let your elbows drop outwards. Let your head drop. And as you release those hands, and back into a forward fold. Then inhaling, soften your knees, going all the way up. And exhale to mountain. Okay, as you inhale, bringing your arms forward and sit in your chair. Check the tracking of your knees. You should be able to see your big toe and your first toe as you glance down. Really sit down and then exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands and step back into plank. Okay, take a breath here. And I want you to go through another vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, like we've been doing so far. Or if you want to do a half or a full yogi push-up, then feel free to do that. And we meet in downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up behind you. And as you exhale, bring it slowly forwards in a controlled way to the front of the mat, turning your back foot out 45 degrees and coming up into a low lunge. And then as you exhale, bringing your hands back down, stepping back into plank and go through another vinyasa. And we meet in down dog. And then inhaling the left leg up, controlled, and bringing it forward to the front of the mat, turning out the back foot 45 degrees and pushing up into your warrior one on the other side. And exhaling, hands down into plank. And exhaling through your vinyasa. And take a few breaths. On your next exhale, stepping through to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhale, bringing your arms forward, sit down in your chair, and exhale to mountain. Inhaling, arms forward, sit down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank and go through a vinyasa. Inhaling to cobra and exhaling to down dog. Inhaling your right leg up, exhaling it forward, turning out the back foot 45 degrees and coming into a warrior one. And then as you exhale, turn your upper body to the left, taking your arms down to shoulder height, front to back, and gaze over that front middle fingertip. And then inhale, turning that palm foot upwards and coming to your reverse warrior, back hand travelling down the back leg, looking up at your hand. And then as you exhale, cartwheeling your hands down and coming to plank and through a vinyasa, or meeting down dog. Inhaling the left leg up. And as you exhale, bring that forward to the front of the mat, turning out the back foot and come into warrior one on the other side. And then as you exhale, turning your body to the right, arms at shoulder height, front to back, gazing over that front fingertip. Turn your front hand up and come into your reverse warrior, looking up at your hand, back hand travelling down your back leg. And as you exhale, cartwheeling your hands down into plank through a vinyasa, and we'll meet in downward facing dog for a few breaths. Big breath in. And open your mouth and let it out. And one more time, big breath in from the nose. And let it go. And then on your next exhale, walking your feet to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, fold. Inhaling your arms forward, bend your knees and sit in your chair. And exhale to mountain. Inhaling, arms forward to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank and go through a vinyasa. When you're meeting down dog, inhaling your right leg up and bringing it forward, drop your back knee down into a low lunge, okay? Sitting up as tall as you can, bringing your arms up, looking up, and just letting your hips sink. And then as you exhale, bringing your upper body forward, straightening your front leg, peeling that front foot off the floor and fold over that front leg. And then coming back up onto your foot, arms up, back into your low lunge. And exhale, stretching forward, straighten that front leg into your half Hanuman. And then coming back up as you inhale into your low lunge. Just take a breath here. And then bringing your hands down, step back into plank, go through a vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. And then inhaling the left leg up. And as you exhale, bring it forward and let the back knee drop into a low lunge on the other side. Letting your hips sink. Don't let your knee go any further forward than your ankle. Arms up and looking up to the sky. Really stretch. Exhale, folding forward, straightening your front leg, peeling that leg foot off the mat and fold over that front leg into your half Hanuman. Inhaling back up to low lunge. And exhale, half Hanuman. Inhaling back up to lunge. And then as you exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank and go through a vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog for a few breaths. And on your next exhale, stepping forward to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway rise. And exhale, fold. Inhale, bending your knees, bringing your arms forward. Sit in your chair. And exhale to mountain. Just take a couple of breaths. Inhaling, arms forward, sit in your chair. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands and step back into a plank pose. Just take a breath here. And exhale through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up. And as you exhale, bring it to the front of the mat, dropping your back foot and come into low lunge one more time on this side. And your half Hanuman. Inhaling low lunge. And exhaling half splits. Inhaling low lunge. And exhaling half splits. Inhaling low lunge. Exhaling, hands down, step into plank through a vinyasa. And when you move in down dog, inhaling your left leg up. And as you exhale, bring it forward, dropping the back knee, and into your low lunge on the other side. Exhaling, folding forward into your half Hanuman. Inhaling up. And exhaling down into your half Hanuman. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half Hanuman. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands into plank and go through a vinyasa. And we'll take a few breaths in downward facing dog. And as you exhale, slipping to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhaling your arms forward, bend your knees, sit in your chair, and exhale to mountain. Just take a couple of breaths. Well done, everybody. So the sun salutation's done. Okay, so if you like to bring yourself onto the floor and sit in a wide-legged position across the length of your mat. Okay, make sure that your back is straight. If it's not, if you've got a curve in your back, then can you give yourself some height under your bottom? Okay. So stretching up as you breathe in, just moving from side to side. And then as you exhale, looking up, coming forward, hands to the ground, and walking forward and walking forward. Don't drop your head until you get to that point where you're not going any further. And release. And then walking your hands back up, I want you to turn your body to the right, bending your right knee and come into a pigeon on that side. So your left leg is shooting straight out behind you. Your right leg is in front of you with your shin across the mat, no further forward than parallel with the front of the mat, anywhere within that angle. Okay. Bringing your hands onto your leg, stretching up as much as you can. And then as you exhale, just walking forward. And drop your head. Release your belly. And then slowly walking your hands back up, turning back to face the side of the mat, and bring your other leg, your left leg, bend that, bring your feet together and come into a butterfly pose. So you're just holding onto your feet and just flapping your knees, just gently, no straining. Okay, now taking your left leg to the front and keeping the knee bent, and your right leg is going backwards into pigeon on the other side. Sitting up as tall as you can. And then folding forwards and resting over that knee, over that leg. Relaxing your belly. And then walking back up, turning your upper body to face the long side of the mat again, bringing your feet together and coming into the butterfly again. And then wide-legged stance again. And then using your fingertips, grow your spine as you breathe in, and as you exhale, turn your body towards the right foot. And then exhale as you bring your head towards your knee. And then coming back up, sitting tall, turn your upper body towards the left foot, and then walking forwards, just dropping your head down towards your knee on the other side. And coming back up and back to centre. And again, walking your fingertips forward, keep looking up, look up, look up, look up, look up, until you're not going any further. And then drop your head. Relax your legs. And then slowly, slowly walking your hands back up. And bringing both of your feet to one end of the mat so that you're sitting lengthways on the mat again in staff pose. So your legs are straight in front of you. You're sitting up tall, sitting in an L shape. Maybe take your bottom flesh behind you, because we're now going to do a forward fold. Coming forwards and drop your head towards your knees. Don't force anything, just let gravity do its work. And then coming back up. Then leaning back, keeping your back straight, bending your knees and coming back so that you're balancing on your bottom, bringing your legs up, all the way up. So you're now sitting in an L shape, but you're balancing on your bottom and your arms come straight forward into boat pose. We'll hold this for a few breaths, really power those legs up, engage that core. And then really slowly, slowly, slowly let yourself come down into a lying position on your mat. Just take a breath or two here. Okay, so if you'd like to come actually on your back with your legs straight up in the air, you might need to come forward on your mat because we're going to go into plough, so you need space for your legs behind you. Okay, so rolling onto your back, your feet straight up. Dorsiflex your feet as if you're standing on the ceiling. Just stay here for a few moments. And then using your hands face down on the floor, just pushing yourself up onto your shoulders, working your shoulders underneath you. And if you can, grabbing your hands and interlocking your fingers behind you and letting your toes just drop down towards the floor. Stretching your hands away from you. And then either stay here or bringing your hands onto your back, slowly and carefully bringing your legs up. Don't move your head from side to side in this pose ever. Just bringing your legs up into a shoulder stand. And then bringing yourself slowly, slowly back down, really controlled. Legs straight up in the air again. And then just let your legs drop out to the side. And if you want to, you can hold on to your toes. Bringing your legs back up to center, bending your knees, bring your feet on the floor. Okay. So planting your feet on the floor, hip width apart, on your back, knees bent, and wiggle yourself as close to your heels as you can. Ideally, if you can tickle the back of your heels with your fingertips. Don't worry if you can't quite get there, that's fine. Okay, and then I want you to push up with your feet, pushing your hips really far up towards the ceiling. And releasing back down. And coming up. And as you exhale, come down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. And then this time as you come up, I want you to try and work your way onto your shoulders. And clasping your arm, your palms together, interlocking your fingers. And really pushing up through your feet, through your legs, hips up, chest up. And then slowly, slowly release down onto the mat. Bringing your knees to your chest. And little circles, give yourself a back massage on the mat. Okay. If you'd like to come into a lying down position. Bending your knees, arms out to the side at shoulder height, palms facing up, and let your knees drop down to your right armpit. Inhaling to center. And as you exhale, let your knees drop down towards your left armpit and look over to the right. Inhaling back to center, letting your feet drop to the floor, knees out to the side, soles of your feet together, arms above your head and hold onto your elbows if that's comfortable for your shoulders. If not, then keep your arms down by your sides. And just let the weight of your knees just relax down. And then sliding your legs along the mat so they're straight, feet apart, feet just resting out to the sides, arms down by your sides, shoulders on the floor. Relaxing your toes, your feet and your ankles. Relaxing your calf muscles, your knees, all around your knees. The front and the back of your thighs. Relax those glutes. Letting your back sink into the floor. Relaxing your shoulders, down your arms, your hands. And turning your head to the right. Turning your head to the left. Back to center. Lifting your head, bringing your chin towards your chest. And then letting it roll back down. And just let go. Big breath in. And release, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Give yourself a stretch. And rolling onto your side, using your arm as a pillow. And slowly coming up back into your comfortable seated position where you started. Sitting up tall, shoulders down. Bringing the palms of your hands together, spreading your fingers and bringing the base of your thumbs to your sternum. Bowing your head. Namaste. Well done, guys.